Another game against a relegation side and more drop points for Tottenham Hotspur. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the United Spurs of America podcast. Your co-host here, Michael Ramirez, joined by Jacob Walraven.
Hey.
2-2 draw against Newcastle, Jacob. Obviously, a very, very disappointing result, in my opinion. I know you'll get into it in a little bit, but you have to feel like it's a missed opportunity, man. A chance to go into fourth place, possibly have a Champions League spot already, and have a better position to finish in the league. But you got to feel like it's a wasted opportunity.
Highly disappointing result that we faced. I thought we showed a lot of promises. I thought there was a lot going on there in the first 3 minutes of the game. It was kind of back and forth, kind of showed me that this was going to be one of those games where they weren't going to back down. Essentially, they're fighting to get away from relegation, and I think that was huge. I'm highly disappointed because if you remember on the last show, I was highly recommending that we go with Rodon
Yep. And
and
Tanganga.
Tanganga again. That was a lineup that I was actually very excited for. Unfortunately, they both had questionable performances, showed their lack of experience essentially.
Yep.
I think Rodon was facing a little bit of or Joe Roden, excuse me. I think he was facing a little bit of fatigue. He had just played 3 international games. If you see that, there was some people left off of the squad because of the same exact thing, but he's a little younger, so I felt like he could bounce back. And it highly unfortunate. One bright spot, it was the 51st appearance for Højbjerg. I thought
Yep.
that what a
Man who
general,
fights for the badge.
what a guy, what a man.
Man who fights for the badge, for sure.
Um, but yeah, back to the Newcastle game. I just thought early on we showed a lack of confidence in the back line, Sanchez especially. Tanganga wasn't really able to move forward offensively, and I think because in the left side of his brain, he's thinking, I need to help out Sanchez because he was showing a lot of mistakes. I see in the third minute, he turned it over, and Hugo had to make a save.
Yep.
It was a very weak shot, but it just showed me that, hey, this is 3 minutes in the game. We're already making mistakes.
And
Uh,
then eventually, a Sanchez mistake led to the first goal of the game for Newcastle.
what's
And
new? What
you
else?
got, dude, it's so frustrating, man. Just clear the ball. I don't care if it goes out of bounds. I don't care if you keep it in. Why would you clear it that low? I don't know if he meant to clear it like a line drive instead of just clearing the ball and trying to get it out of our half. But oh my God, man, it was just such poor defending, such a poor clearance from Davinson Sanchez, and you just gotta. It's another head scratcher, man. And I feel like we've had so many of these head scratchers from him this season. It's just night and day, the comparison between his first season when he joined Tottenham in 2018 to now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. You can't keep making mistakes against Premier League sides, excuse me. Even I get Newcastle's a relegation team. Like they are in a relegation battle right now. But I think we alluded to this in the last podcast. There are no easy games in the Premier League. And we've learned that. We've literally learned that this season as Tottenham supporters. The games against Fulham, Brighton, your teams that you expect to beat, we're
Right.
collapsing. It's
Right.
ridiculous. And it all started with that terrible mistake from Sanchez, which, by the way, received racist abuse online from some of our supporters. Just want to get out of the way that, we're fully supportive of Davinson Sanchez and definitely don't condone racism at all on this podcast.
Absolutely. I mean, it's
Um,
one thing to critique the man's performance on the field. It's another to critique the way a human looks.
it's
And
just ridiculous,
at the
man,
end of the
especially
day,
after the game. It's like, really? And we need this also. We really need some racism amongst our
there's
supporters.
there's toxic energy amongst the fan base, and I think it just shows a lack of maturity. It could just be some young kids being stupid online, and whatever it is, it's inexcusable. And I support Davinson Sanchez. To me, it makes me want the opposite of what the actual fan in me wants for the guy. I do think he's a liability when it comes to our defense, but
But it's no excuse.
it's no
It's
excuse for
no excuse
right, and I think that that goes without saying. I don't think we need to spend too much time
for sure.
fighting a fight that has been fought for so long. I mean, I'm happy to make that fight, but at the end of the day, this shouldn't be happening.
For sure.
The motto is no room for racism. I've My best friend since I was a kid. He's Indian. I mean, I've never saw racism as as a as a real thing, and it's unfortunate that it still occurs to this day. I think it just shows the worst side of humanity, and to me, I think football is also about a lot of the great things that we as humans can accomplish.
For sure,
So
man.
it's 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 disappointing. I'm disappointed to hear that our fans were like that. Maybe they weren't even our fans. I like to think that they weren't our fans because I like to believe a true Tottenham fan would never racially abuse someone based on their performance on the field. Yes, he had a very questionable performance with mistakes. Do you think abusing this man is going to help him moving forward? I don't. I
Yeah,
personally think that you're just making his life harder. And you think that just because he's a professional footballer that, oh, he gets paid millions, therefore he can accept this abuse. And at the end of the day, man, we're all human. And that to me is just unacceptable. So
for sure, man.
um
We mentioned the questionable performances of Davinson Sanchez, but you have to give credit to, I think, only Joe Roden really in that game. I mean, he had a little bit of a mixed bag of a performance, but
and you're
Reggie
referring to
wasn't.
the back line,
Yeah, back
right?
line, man.
Okay.
Back line was poor once again. Even Reggie last game was not great, man.
I mean, he's coming
He had
back
a
from
few
injury.
turnovers.
He looked, I would say that, yeah, I mean, Ben Davies wouldn't
It
have
was
looked
poor,
better.
man.
Ben
No,
Davies
I
wouldn't have
know.
looked better.
I'm not, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that it's just unacceptable, man. Another poor performance from the back line, and another missed opportunity from the squad. We've mentioned some of the questionable and poor performances from some of our players, but let's do get into our man of the match from the game. Jacob, we'll start off with you. Who's your
Uh,
man of the match from this Newcastle game? 2-2 draw.
I mean, I think you got to give it to the man who put the points on the board, and that's Harry Kane.
Yep.
His goal, he became the Premier leader. I think that that's big. He also, I think it was joint eighth all time in Premier
Yep.
League scoring. I
Yep.
mean,
He just
I
tied
can't
Jermaine
speak
Defoe,
highly.
former Tottenham striker as well, for 162 goals scored in the Premier League.
Come on, you
He
Spurs.
now is under the 100 goal threshold for how many he needs to catch up to Alan Shearer, who is in first place with 260 goals.
Oh, that's
So
big
Harry
time.
Kane's got 162. If he stays in the Premier League his entire career, man, he's smashing that record,
If
no
he stays
doubt.
with Tottenham his
But
entire career, we're bringing the trophy, baby.
hopefully, man, hopefully. So
Uh,
you did allude to it during your man of the match spiel, but now he is the sole leader in the Golden Boot race with 19 goals, 13 assists in the Premier League as well. That is also the most in the Premier League this season. Jacob, this man is a machine. He is also my man of the match player as well. He is my man of the match. Um, it's just ridiculous, man. This guy keeps scoring, and it just feels like it sometimes feels like he is single-handedly carrying this team to some of these results. And I would say his first goal obviously was a little lucky, a little fortunate to bounce right in front of his feet, but oh my God, that second goal
that's
was
just a matter of,
filthy, man.
oh,
Filthy. Oh my
that
God.
through ball from Tanguy and Ndombele was something to be
Sexy.
seen. I mean, and
Sexy.
that's what gives me hope, right? I think all we can do with this result is move forward. We can't look back, and for me, that gives me hope that there's, yes, Tanguy and Ndombele is playing a little further back than I think a lot of people like to see, but he still showed that offensive creativity, and I think when you have a healthy Heung-min Son, you have a healthy Kane and a healthy Tanguy Ndombele, that's a pretty
It's a
good
lethal attack.
foundation for your offensive attack. And yes, we had higher hopes for Bale. That doesn't mean he can't. I have high hopes for Steven Bergwijn. During the live stream I was a part of with the Spurs Web, which by the way, thank you guys.
Yeah, shout out to the Spurs Web for having Jacob on their podcast, their live reaction pod,
Big shout
after the
out,
Newcastle
but
match. And great job, by the way, Jacob.
oh,
You
thanks.
represented USA very well,
It was quite early in the morning, but it was definitely my pleasure to chat with those guys. It was a fun conversation, and look forward to either doing it again with them. Maybe we could have them on the show.
for
But
sure.
one of the things that was a common theme with the comments we were receiving, aside from Sanchez and Jose
Yeah,
Mourinho, was when I brought up Steven Bergwijn. Quite a few people were not agreeing with me. But again, I just think we have a chance at a good solid offensive attack. I think with Lo Celso coming back, he showed great ability there on the first Kane goal. Yes, it was a matter of Kane just being the machine and the tank that he is, just plowing through those people. The ball pops to your feet. Hey, I mean, a goal's a goal, whether it's a chip in, whether it's a curler. I don't care. Harry Kane, that is my man of the match. He's got to be doing that for us every game. It's unfortunate that, when Heung-min Son came in the second half, that he wasn't able to make the huge difference. Could we blame Lamella on that? I think so. I think if Lamella didn't
Definitely made the wrong decision,
played
in
a
my
better ball
opinion.
there, I think he got caught in between two thoughts. And before he knew it, he had to make a decision. Luckily, Harry Kane, again, the machine he is, was running down the field. Unfortunately, we didn't capitalize on that opportunity.
Yeah,
But I think if that's Tanguy and Ndombele or Giovanni Lo Celso, he plays that ball in the sun a little bit sooner, and then
yeah.
we get a left-footed curler from Son, and this is a 3-1 ball game, and we're not looking at a tie. But for me, I just think if Kane can maintain what he does, and we support him with a couple more players that like a healthy Heung-min Son, and um, I think there's no reason that we can't continue to be the offense that we've shown. Because I mean, look at the numbers, right? You just showed Harry
Yep.
Kane is leading the league in goals, and
And
he's also
assists.
and assists. And Heung-min Son's also in the top, I think, 7 or 8 in Premier League assists, if I'm not. So to me, that shows that hey, we can do this. We were top
Yeah.
of the league, baby. I know it feels like forever ago, and I know people listening might think, you're living in the past, or you're remaining too positive. That I just have hope. I'm a positive guy, and seeing us at the top of the league at any point in the season is going to tell me that we can do it. And I refuse to believe otherwise until mathematically we can't. But top four is still a chance. So, moving forward, I don't think we can dwell too much on this result. We have a huge match coming up on Sunday with
Yep.
Manchester United. Which there's a match that's before Manchester United between Leicester and West Ham that I think is just as big of a result concerning our top four chances.
Yep.
So yeah, Sunday's going to be a big day.
Big day. Big day. You already you alluded that Eric Lamela did come on. I thought, in my opinion, I thought he was decent, man. He made a decent impact on the game.
He
Not
brought
too
life.
shabby. The one player that was pretty invisible, man, other than Son coming on. I'm not gonna blame the loss too much on Son. But once again, man, another dud by Lucas Moura. Another dud of a performance from Lucas Moura. And once again, what position was he playing, man, when he had a dud? On the wing. I'm telling you, if you are going to start this man, play him in the middle of the pitch at the number 10. At the number 10, not on the wing. This man is so inconsistent on that wing. So
He
inconsistent, man.
disappeared.
Another dud of a performance. It's that's what it was. It's ridiculous, man. Like I don't understand why you can't have either Eric Lamella there from the get-go in the 11 or Steven Bergwijn or Bale. Like you have Gareth Bale on the bench and you choose to go with Lucas Moura. I don't understand, man, but it is what it is. Lucas Moura invisible on the wing. Do you have much else to add, Jacob?
Um, it's highly unfortunate for Lucas Moura. I thought
The
that
theme
was a
the theme of
very
today's pod.
the theme. Yes, the theme of Easter Sunday 2021. Highly unfortunate. But I just think we were raving about his performance in the Villa game, and it's just I think what you said, you hit the nail on the head. We kind of called it last pod. I don't want to be too um, braggadocious, but we did say you put him out there on the wing, the man seems to disappear, and I don't have him much in my notes other than a few high energy plays.
Yeah.
So
But do you know what you're going to get from Lucas? You're going to get a guy who's going to run around as fast as he can for 90 minutes and or until he gets pulled off, and then that's about it.
let me ask
That's
you
on his bad
this.
days.
Let me ask you this, and then we'll try to hopefully move on to something a little more positive. Um, what did you think? Second game in a row, two strikers. I thought Vinicius did one heck of a job. I thought he did a lot more out there than a lot of other players did or could have done in a similar role. So I liked what I saw. Was it enough? Maybe not, but he did in the first half have a few balls to Jew. He had one um, to Kane early on that just Kane couldn't put on target, and
Yeah.
so to me, there's hope still there with our backup striker. Now, am I as high on the two center forward formation? Not so much. I think I was a little happier about it after the Villa game. But
Yeah, I
what are your thoughts on how that went?
honestly, man, I think this is where we're gonna have our first disagreement on the pod. I didn't think he had that good of a game, to be honest. He really didn't have that much of an impact. He had a few touches here and there, and that was about it.
Yeah,
Look, I like Vinny. I really do. I think he's a solid backup striker. I think there's not many other backup strikers who are better in the Premier League. That being said, we have high expectations for him, man. Like if you're gonna come in and play in the Tottenham Hotspur starting 11, you got to bring your A game.
yeah,
I just didn't think he brought his A game
yeah.
against Newcastle. I liked him in
Mm.
Aston Villa, excuse me. I do agree with you on that point, but I don't know, man. I wasn't really I didn't really like it last game. Like I said, the Villa performance was fine from Vinny. Obviously, he got his goal, but yeah, man, I wasn't a fan against Newcastle. I thought he
Okay.
could have brought a lot more to the table. And honestly, I had predicted that he was going to get subbed off at halftime, and I even said you got to bring on Son for Vinicius because he's just not producing out there. We ended up bringing on Son. Didn't really make much of a difference. It is what it is. But hey, Lo Celso and Ndombele started again together. I thought that was a pretty good bright spot. I thought they played pretty well. I didn't think there was too much to complain about on that front. I thought Lo Celso adds obviously that creativity. We saw the Endom long schlong ball to Harry Kane. You
Hey,
already know, baby.
that's why we call him. Hey, I mean, excuse my French, but Endom thick cock. I mean, Endom
Yes,
big dick. I don't know what
sir.
you want to call him, but that
You
man.
can call him whatever you want. Endom bad boy, Endom daddy. I don't care, bro. As
Hey,
long as that goal, as long as that guy is slinging in those balls like that, playing through Harry Kane for him to smash it home,
I have a note here,
I have
and
no
everyone wants
problem
to
with
talk
it.
about his fitness. They want to talk about his longevity for 90 minutes. In the
He's been
91st
playing
minute,
90. He
in the
played he played
90,
90 again.
yeah, in the 91st minute, there was an insane dribble through the entire midfield. I mean, he just made two people's families be highly embarrassed for what he did to them in the 91st minute. Did
Yep.
it lead to a goal? No, we didn't capitalize. But at the end of the day, Tongi Domble, I mean, his ball skills warrant such
Endom
high
baller,
praise.
baby. Endom
Yes.
baller.
I mean, that man, it goes without saying. I also have here, I just saw this, the 92nd minute, a Lamella shot wide. I believe that was also a pretty
Was that the
bad
side
miss.
netting? That was the side
Yeah,
netting
that hit
shot.
the
Oh
side
my
netting.
God.
Highly unfortunate.
That was very unfortunate. While we're on the starting 11, another start for Tanganga, second straight start. There were actually no changes from the Aston Villa game, and honestly, I was okay with it. Before, obviously, we saw what we saw from the 11. I actually thought it was a decent 11 from Aston Villa. I wasn't upset about it, man. What about you? I was excited to see Tanganga at the right back position. Joe Roden had been playing pretty well. Reggie was back in the 11 as well, and then we already talked about that midfield with Lo Celso and Ndombele. But I thought I actually liked the 11 before we saw what we saw, and then we all know we're Tanganga appreciators on the pod.
Of course, we are big Tanganga guys. Tanganga season is all
Yes,
season
sir.
long, baby. Um, but I do agree. His performance, I think, suffered due to the fact that he was covering Sanchez a lot. I think, to be fair to Matt Doherty, which I seldom bring him up,
Why are we bringing him up in this
I
podcast, my guy?
apologize. But
You know the
anyway,
rules.
I don't think it did him
We
any
must not
favors. He had to
speak his
cover.
name
Yeah.
unless we absolutely need to.
Well, my point being, the right back position, I think at Tottenham Hotspur, when you have either Sanchez or Dyer that you have to compensate for, I think it makes a right back's position hard.
Hmm.
Um, but I think for the jobs I was asked, I didn't see any mistakes in and around the box. I think that's something that Serge Aurier would have given us
Yeah.
had he been in that position. So again, I think a decent performance. I know a lot of people were kind of hard on the guy, but I say give him a break. He's covering for Sanchez.
Yeah.
Um, I think he's the best right back option we have at this point. Maybe you make him a center back, pair him with Joe Rodon for the rest of the season,
Jose
and
Mourinho
let.
did say he wants to keep developing him at right back. So who knows? Maybe we have our right back of the future. Yeah,
Who,
either way, bro,
who's
play him at
Jose?
center back.
Who's Jose?
Jose, sorry, Jose.
Okay, he told you on the
But
prime dog.
bro, like center back or right back, you just got to put him into the 11 at this point.
I mean, he's got more to
Give him the
offer than
minutes.
anyone.
Give him the minutes. I still have a theory that we're going to sell Aurier and Doherty in the summer, and I think we're going to bring in a new right back. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
Not against it.
Any final thoughts on Newcastle though? On the Newcastle performance, I kind of want to get
I
over
say we
this one,
wash our
man.
hands with it and move
Let's
forward. That's all we can do.
wash them with me. Wash your
Hey,
hands.
I'm pure Ellen right now.
There it
I don't
is.
know if you can't hear that if you're just listening, but I'm pure Ellen.
Hey, but Man United up next on Sunday. We already kind of alluded to it earlier in the
Big
pod,
game.
but
Big game.
obviously the 6-1 thrashing back in 2020 was awesome to see. It was one of the most satisfying, I think, performances that I've ever seen out of Tottenham Hotspur. But I feel like it's a much different Man United team that we're going to be walking into and facing this upcoming Sunday, man. But what are some of your players to watch this week for Tottenham? I mean, obviously
Um,
we have King Kane, but
I think
is there
King
anyone
Kane
else?
and huge Heung-min Son, I think now that he's fully
Both
fit,
had braces last game against United, by the way, in the
I'm
6-1 thrashing.
welcoming of that. I like the idea of even Lamella.
Lamelo, yes sir, Lamelo Ball.
No, no, no. This ain't no NBA talk. No. Lamella, I'm not opposed to him starting. I love the
Hmm.
shithousery. Let's get it started right at the kickoff. That's
Or
what I
Bale,
want to
man.
see.
I would say either Lamelo or Bale.
I'm
You got to
saying
pick
your
one
front,
though.
I'm saying front three. I'm going Kane, Son, and Bale. Okay,
Okay.
that's my front three. Behind that, I'm going with Lamella and Tanguy and Ndombele, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And then obviously I'm going to go Reguilon. We don't have any other left back.
Yep.
I think you can wash away his performance. At the center, I would take Toby and Joe. I'll take those at the center back. Give me Tanganga out there on the right again. Um,
And then our Father, who art in goal,
uh,
hallowed be thy name.
Hugo Lloris. In
Yes,
his
sir.
name, we pray
In his
for.
name we pray for a clean sheet against Man United. Man, I feel like I haven't. I know we just saw a clean sheet a few games ago, but it just still feels like forever if we go a period of time without a clean sheet. You know what I mean?
Hmm. And it's hard to believe that I think we're like in the top 8 of clean sheets, which I mean I think it's been a crazy Premier League season,
It
so that's a
has.
little bit hard to believe into that stat, but Um, I think he had a really good game despite the scoreline. I thought he had a really good game against Newcastle. I think if he can give us a similar performance against Manchester United, I think he at least offers us a chance that maybe we can do something similar. Will it be perfect? Probably not.
Yeah.
Um, but no Spurs game is, as we know. So for me, um, I would like the shithouse to start immediately, whether that's Lamella or whoever. But whoever whoever does the shithousing, it has to be us. We have to start it. Send off one of their top players again. I'd love to see it. But I do think that we'll skew our our expectations a little just because of that thrashing we gave them earlier in the year. They're probably going to
Yeah.
want to give us some of that back. Um, but do I think we're going to finish higher than them this season? Unfortunately, no. It pains me to say. But I think this is a great chance for us to get out on the front foot of this schedule. Everton's not going to be any easier that following Friday, and then we play the league
Southampton.
leader or Southampton.
Oh, we
Excuse
play
me.
Southampton,
I'm
I
not
think.
trying to brush over that game. I was just looking forward to the Carabao Cup, maybe get that
Yep.
first silverware in the lock. So I think we can if we manage a tie, that's okay. I think we have to go for the win. I think we can't play conservative. We
Yeah.
gotta throw the kitchen sink. I think Jose knows that. Jose has his legacy he's trying to protect. And I think Jose wants Champions League football next year. And despite if we get that or not, I still believe he's going to be our manager next year. I know that's not the topic we're on, but I'm just a little side note.
Yeah.
I mean, first thing is how much money it's going to cost to sack the man, and then after that, you got to say like, are we any better? I mean, I brought this up on the live stream with the Spurs guys. That just because you got rid of Mauricio Pochettino didn't fix the problem that Poch was talking about from the jump.
Yep.
Um, you know, if you have a bad apple, it's still going to spoil the bunch. Just because you got rid of the guy carrying the basket doesn't change that. You know what I mean? So to me, um, the whole fire Jose, like that's going to solve the problems for. I think you got to get out the players who seem like they don't care. And unfortunately, if you saw the shot during the game, it definitely looked like Gareth Bale, Dele Alli, Joe Hart. It didn't look like they were invested in what's going on in the field. And this is after
Yeah.
they had gone up 1-0. This was right after that. And they're joking and laughing it doesn't seem like they care. The only person that I didn't see smiling and laughing was Son. And Sonny has my heart. And I just think that you got to get the problem out before you start saying like, oh, it's Jose's fault or anything like that. But this Manchester United game, my hopes are high, my expectations are low. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. As far as my 11, look, take a look at this 11 from the 6-1 thrashing back in 2020.
Okay.
You have Son, Kane, and Lamella up top. Remember Lamella shithousery, obviously, with Anthony Martial. Then you have Endomballer with Pierre Emile Højbjerg. And then actually Sissoko completed that midfield trio with Reggie, Dyer, Sanchez, Aurier, and Lloris. So my 11 is actually pretty similar. I think it might be the same as yours. Um, I'm going Son, Kane, and Bale, bro, just like you. You said Bale, right? Not
Yeah,
Lamella.
I said
Yeah,
Bale.
I'm going Bale, man. Son, Kane, Bale up top. I think you got to go Ndombele, Lo Celso, and Højbjerg again. Like you said, we don't have another left back. I refuse to watch Ben Davies anymore willingly. So I'm gonna go Reggie at left back, and then I'm gonna agree with you, man. Bring in Toby Kenobi, with with Joe Roden back in the center back pairing, and then Tanganga at right back, bro. Actually, you know what? That's the one thing I'm actually gonna disagree with you on. Aurier had such a good game last time against United. He's coming off of international duty where he just balled out. I'm actually going to go Aurier at right back, which I actually think Jose will start Aurier, and then obviously Hugo and net, who art in goal.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, man, my expectations are not very high, but like you, my hopes are high. My hopes are very high. We need a win, man. We need a win.
We need points bad, and we need
I'm honestly,
teams.
I think I'm going to be frustrated if we don't win, honestly, because at this point, you got to take advantage of these opportunities that we just missed against Newcastle. If we're not going to take advantage of the Newcastle games, then we need to step up in the big ones when it matters. So I was looking at the schedule, man. The reason why I am still hopeful that we can somehow muster a top four finish. We already mentioned, obviously Everton and Southampton. We have the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup final against City, obviously. But
Yeah,
then to close out the season, Sheffield, Leeds, Wolves, Villa again, and then Leicester City on the final day of the season.
yeah,
But I mean, other than Leicester, man, not exactly a tough schedule to end the season. So I am still hopeful for a top four finish.
agreed.
But it starts right now, man. It's got to start this Sunday.
It started last
You got to
Sunday,
set the tone.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I mean that's the mindset, right? It's just every game 3 points. That's all you can think. Hey, last game it was supposed to be 3 points. It was one. At least it was one. There were chances there late in that game. It could have been no points.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think our schedule favors our hopes and our desires.
We're only 3 points out of fourth place, man. Only 3 points off of top four. Like
That
we're not far behind, and there's a lot of games left to
Here's
play.
the thing, when we talked about this earlier, um, yes, we're 3 points off top four right now. But if West Ham beats Leicester before we play Manchester, we're 6 points off. So
Yeah.
even if they
It's
tie,
a
now we're
must win,
four
man.
points off. So
That's
this
why I'm
is a
saying,
must-win game. You're
yeah,
absolutely right. This is a must-win. We can't go home with, well, I mean, we're staying at home. We can't, um,
come away with from the game
absolutely. I think
with
that,
nothing. If we
yeah,
lose, I'm gonna be pissed. If we draw, I'm gonna be disappointed.
it's plain and
But if
simple.
we win, I'm going fucking berserk, man. Oh my God, I can't stand United.
Oh yeah, I will be screaming. What is it, 9:30? Hopefully my wife and baby up by then. But
Yeah,
daddy will be screaming. You can guarantee that. I'm looking forward to it though. Um, Also just looking forward to continuing this pod with you, man. It's been a lot of fun.
for sure. Episode two, man. Episode two of many. Yeah, it's been a blast, man, to be honest, to share the mic with you on a subject we love so much.
Absolutely.
But yeah, United this weekend, man. Obviously up the lads. We always want to wish them well. Once again, we stand with Davinson Sanchez. We don't tolerate any racist abuse to any of our players or any player of that matter on this podcast. But yeah, man, up the lads. Come on, you freaking Spurs
Let's go,
this
you
Sunday. Like
Spurs. Hey,
we need this win, man. Like we need to get back on track. And like I said, we're in the home stretch of the season now. Not a tough final few games in the Premier League, but it starts now, man. It
it
starts now.
does. It does. You're absolutely right. I'm excited. Like I said, if anyone who's been listening this long knows, I'm a positive guy, very positive person. I try to always look half full. Um, but it does. It starts this Sunday. If we don't come away with 3 points, I'm gonna have to reassess how much water's in that glass. But hey, baby, right now, enough to stay hydrated. So let's keep going. Definitely up the lads. Also, we've been trying to remain super active on social, YouTube. We haven't really gotten to the Instagram game yet, but that's not important. Appreciate any interactions, any new followers, listens, likes, sharing it obviously helps. Also, just appreciate all the people reaching out to us and just wishing us good luck. I think that's big for us. I think as a fan club, all we can do is try to unite each other over the love of Spurs. So up the lads. Come on, you Spurs.
Hey, to dare is to do, baby, always. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Definitely want to echo what Jacob said. We appreciate all the listens that we can get, all of the feedback that you guys have been giving us. And once again, follow us on social media. You Spurs of A on, or is it US of A or you Spurs? I think it's US of A. You Spurs
The
of A.
the
You Spurs of
handle
A on
is you
Twitter.
Spurs of A. Yeah.
And definitely make sure to follow us there. Follow us on Spotify, and any listens on Spotify will be greatly appreciated. And then obviously, please subscribe to our YouTube page, which will also be in the bio as well. But yeah,
Also
guys, this
comment.
is
Tell us what you like, what you didn't like.
yeah,
Tell us
for
if you thought
sure.
our opinions were shit. Let us know. I mean, we appreciate the banter. I always say any interaction's a good interaction, whether it is good or bad. So we welcome that and I appreciate all feedback, of course.
Yes, sir. Come on, you Spurs. Until next time, we'll talk to you after Man United. I'm Michael Ramirez with Jacob Wallraven. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Let's go. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang. Let's
Gang,
go.
motherfucking gang.